So you started in 19 as a member of the European Parliament to keep pushing Brexit through, from what I understand.
Yeah, which is quite a binary thing.
Right, yeah.
You know, but it's a much bigger battle than just Brexit.
Right, okay. And then you joined Reform last year.
I joined Reform in March 2023.
2023, okay.
And Reform was the new manifestation of what I had been a part of, the Brexit Party.
Right, okay.
But I was reluctant to join Reform for various reasons, which I can bore you with, but I was reluctant to join. Well, I'll bore you with it.
Yeah, and let's talk about Reform.
Yeah,
what has it done and what hasn't it done? Because otherwise there would be no Advance UK unless Reform had done what you thought it should do.
Yeah, exactly right. And so another sort of journey I've been on is that many of the people on our own side of the fence, our side of the debate, who I thought were solid, actually are not solid. And I can't talk about this frankly unless I talk about it frankly. And I had thought Farage had a political philosophy similar to mine, which was nation state first, borders, sovereignty, freedom, etc. What I have discovered over time is that Farage, who is Reform is Farage, he's such a big persona, he is Reform, and constitutionally it's virtually impossible to remove him from Reform. Farage doesn't have a political philosophy. Farage is part of the political class that pursues expediency over principle. And he will pivot this way or that way to curry favour with whomever he thinks he needs to curry favour with. So, for example, even though it was clear to anyone who was prepared to think about it from first principles and to think about it objectively, Tommy Robinson undoubtedly, in my mind, was put in prison last year for political reasons. It was a politicised Attorney General who threw the book at him. But Farage couldn't bring himself to call that out. He's got an antipathy to Tommy Robinson, which I think is born out of his belief that Tommy Robinson is kryptonite in politics, and therefore he cannot in any way associate himself with Tommy Robinson, and he will throw Tommy Robinson under a bus. But if you're looking for someone to save the United Kingdom from the forces of cancel culture, to promote freedom of speech, then you've got to be brave and look, Tommy Robinson, as I've said before, is no saint.
Investment Club. Today, I consider it the best investment that I've ever made. We get 4 projects presented a week by their associated CEOs. Personally, I'm completely blown away by the quality of these projects, and I know of nowhere else where I would be given this same opportunity. Each week that passes, I feel more appreciative of the fact that I'm a member of this group. The vibe was just tremendous. Everybody's on the same wavelength. We just clicked. Everybody listened to each other, enjoyed their company. It was just magical. Take action. Don't take my word for it. Due diligence you need to do. And I really hope that someday down the road I see you in the club. It far exceeded expectations, without question.
But it was clear that he was put in prison for political reasons. And it was incumbent on Farage to call that out. Farage was also a coward, in my view, when it came to the post-Southport protests. You know, he first was brave and he said that, I think he said something about how the protests were justified. The facts had been hidden and therefore people were protesting. And I completely agree with that. Then they called it the Farage right, and he went completely quiet on it. He had a parliamentary position. He could have spoken up in Parliament, where he has privilege, where he's protected. He could say what he wanted in Parliament. He didn't say it. Only recently has Reform come out and started banging the drum for Lucy Connolly, you know, who was wrongly incarcerated. They only did it when it became acceptable to do it. They still don't talk about Peter Lynch, for example, who went to prison for the same reasons as Lucy Connolly, but hanged himself. And Farage has moved, for example, from a position last year where he thought talking about mass deportations of illegal migrants would not be acceptable in the political spheres in which he mixes. So he denounced mass deportation. He said it's impossible. When he was asked whether he had an ambition for mass deportations of illegal migrants, he said, no, I don't even have an ambition. And now the other day he came out with a policy talking about mass deportation. It's because the Overton window shifted, the centre of gravity shifted, so he's following it. But the centre of gravity is shifting because of people like myself and others, and Tommy Robinson, no doubt. And so Farage isn't the Churchillian figure. He's not the brave figure that we need to save this country. He will follow where he thinks it's safe to go. But we need a leader, someone who will take the bold steps and call things out as they are and do it in a responsible way. I'm not suggesting there should be anything other than a peaceable approach to this, but do it and provide the solutions at the same time.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.